how the internet travels across the ocean. In the previous decades, the world has seen an unmeasurable transformation where things have been changed beyond our thoughts. Most of what you get on the internet, including possibly this video, travels to you from underwater. In fact, 99% of all international data is transferred through a jumble of cables stretching across the floor of the world's oceans. But how actually does this large amount of data travel across the globe? Join us today as we dive into the depths and ask how the internet travels across the ocean. Undersea cables transport data at high speeds across nations and continents, enabling anything from picture sharing to financial transactions. These cables employ fiber optics to transmit data at a high rate to land, where it is subsequently sent to homes and businesses using fiber optics. Even though billions of people depend on data transmitted through underwater cables, they stretch more than 745,000 miles, or more than 3 times the distance to the moon. Given the magnitude of underwater cables, which can traverse whole seas, the New York Times estimates that a single undersea cable installation may cost up to $350 million. As a result, traditionally, these cables have been installed by multinational telecommunications organizations with the considerable money and technical skills required to complete major projects. However, technology businesses rapidly dominate both the usage and deployment of underwater cables. Google and Facebook are among the biggest investors in new cables currently, says Alan Maudlin, research director at Telegeography, since tech behemoths are increasingly the ones consuming all that underwater capacity. According to data from Network Intelligence from Sandvine, just a few services account for more than 1/3 of bandwidth demand globally. According to the company's Global Internet Phenomena Report, web-based streaming, Netflix, and YouTube are the top 3 consumers of global traffic. Facebook is also ranked in the top 10. On the other hand, Google is forging its own path with its first-of-its-kind initiative linking the United States to Chile, home to the company's biggest data center in Latin America. Getting it there is a challenging and time-intensive process. In this process, a 456-foot ship named Durable will ultimately deliver the cable to sea. But first, the cable is assembled inside a sprawling factory a few hundred yards away in Newington, New Hampshire. The factory, owned by the company Subcom, is filled with specialized machinery used to maintain tension in the wire and encase it in protective skin. The cables begin as a tangle of strands of tiny glass fiber threads. Then, using fiber optic technology, lasers push data down the threads at almost the speed of light. After landing and connecting to an existing network, the data required to read an email or access a web page is sent to a person's device. While most of us today use the internet primarily via Wi-Fi and phone data plans, such systems ultimately connect with real cables that quickly transport data across countries or oceans. Manufacturing of the undersea internet cables. The cables are manufactured in high-speed mills the size of jet engines, which wrap the wire in a copper casing that transmits power across the line to keep the data going. Plastic, steel, and tar are added afterward, depending on where the cable will be installed, to help it endure the varied maritime circumstances. The wires will be the size of a thick garden hose when completed. The first transatlantic cable that linked the United States with Britain was completed in 1858. The Imperial Queen of England presided at the ceremony. President Buchanan of America got the telegram from Queen Victoria, and it took 16 hours to transmit the message. Several wireless and satellite technologies are competing for market share, but there is no match for cable, which continues to be the most efficient, productive, and, most importantly, least costly way of transmitting data throughout the world. That is not to say it is cheap, since Google would never reveal the cost of its plan to Chile. However, analysts estimate that subsea projects might cost up to $350 million, depending on the length of the cable. telecommunications firms have bragged the most about laying the groundwork for cable in modern times. However, as time has passed, American IT behemoths have become more cautious and controlling. According to Telegeography, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft have invested in data centers that link North America, South America, Asia, Europe, and Africa. In addition, countries see underwater cables as important infrastructure, with projects serving as flashpoints in geopolitical tensions. So, who actually owns these cables and runs this billion-dollar business? Well, as it's an expensive business, so nations or quasi-national telecom providers are the key players in this complex game. Undoubtedly, the world's biggest owners of cables are America's AT&T, with almost a stake of 230,000 kilometers of undersea cable. On the second spot, it's China Telecom. Facebook is growing with every passing year, holding a stake of almost 100,000 kilometers of cables right now, while Google holding roughly the same amount. Finally, Amazon has its own private internet hooking up with the giant's mighty AWS data centers through cables traversing the Indian Ocean and Atlantic, Pacific, plus the Mediterranean and the Red Sea, as well as the South China Sea. Many of you would be thinking about the legendary Elon Musk's idea to make internet wireless via his company Starlink. Yeah, he is working on it, but for now, the cable network is the cheapest and most efficient way of connecting to the digital world. Undersea cable demand will likely increase as more enterprises depend on cloud computing services. And next, technologies such as more sophisticated artificial intelligence and autonomous automobiles will all need rapid internet rates. This summer, Facebook and Google joined hands for an amazing initiative to build an undersea cable network named Apricot. This initiative will link Singapore, Japan, Indonesia, Guam, Taiwan, and the Philippines by 2024. What do you think? Will this stunning technology become obsolete one day, just like the telegraph? Do let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more totally amazing tech videos in the future.